NBA 2K23 has been out for 10 days now. I've been playing it a ton, I've seen every possible cutscene, and I am not impressed. This game is kinda ass, and it's a big disappointment considering this is supposed to be one of the best sport video games ever made. To be fair, I want to start off by saying that 2K did a lot of things right this year. The gameplay feels improved, the Eras mode is a nice addition, Next Gen has a whole arena, which is a great sign for the future, but the main thing I really dislike about this game is the My Career storyline. If you're a sub to this channel, you should know that I love the offline and story mode portions of games, and the My Career storyline this year is just so cringy.
Same elevator as usual?
Yes, they haven't moved.
Yeah, right.
Hey, yo, MP, let me get a selfie for the gram.
I got you.
Missed the point.
Musty pillow.
Oh! Yo, why is that so funny though?
I think it's because she's an agent. Usually they're not funny. They're just suits. But this agent, she's very funny. Oh, yeah.
Once again, our NBA player is living the life of a Nickelodeon character. The story just doesn't make sense and it's not at all intriguing. There hasn't been any noteworthy improvements to My Career in years, and My Career is what set 2K apart from NBA Live in the first place. I understand that there's a good portion of you out there that only want this game so you can left-right cross online instead of doing your geometry homework. But My Career is what made us fall in love with this franchise, and in 2022, we're still just accepting another copy and pasted game that once again doesn't even attempt to exceed our expectations. I'm not making this video for your sub to my channel or advertisement money. I'm making this because I have somewhat of a voice in this gaming community, and I'm tired of being scammed into supporting these video games that don't care about what we want. I feel like 2K took a huge step back this year in My Career. The biggest thing for me is that the story of your player is linear. You have almost no free will to this year's career. We all have nearly the exact same storyline from beginning to end, and it feels like you're watching a movie except the acting is at the level of porn stars. You no longer have the option of failing tasks and dealing with the consequences like you've been able to in previous years. They just force you to try again until you get it right so we can all watch the same cutscenes. This feels like a game that was made years ago. It just blinds us with the advancements in technology we have today. The story of your NBA player is limited, dry, and already halfway finished by the time you load in. And once again, they're only willing to put in one NBA season of work into the game. Their true colors are shining brighter than ever before. They don't care about your gaming experience. They care about how much they can get you to buy the game for and how many microtransactions they can get you to buy in 1 year. Take-Two Interactive of all gaming companies should realize how much gamers want free will and options in their video games. This is the same company that created GTA 5, which allows you to do things from calling a taxi to shooting a hooker. Obviously, I don't expect to be able to commit felonies in 2K, but if we had more freedom and creativity in the game, maybe their sales wouldn't be decreasing year after year. 2K23 is more focused on forcing you to promote a hot dog stand, doing TikTok dances with children, and starting an eco-friendly clothing brand, when in reality, NBA players get their merch made by the cheapest sweatshop workers they can get their hands on. At this rate, in the next couple of years, we'll be attending protests and afterwards looting swags in the name of social justice. And I see this issue as a big problematic trend with multiple video game series that are turning ultra-liberals so they don't risk getting canceled by blue-haired girls on TikTok, when in reality, the main audience of these games are adult men. If they pull this crap off with GTA 6, I think I might just start playing my own version of the game in real life. The way I see it, 2K23 is completely out of touch with reality, their fan base, and the basketball community. They either have no clue what we want or they don't care because they have no competition at the moment and we're all desperate enough to keep buying whatever NBA game they put out. I wish EA would relaunch NBA Live already. Any NBA game with funding and creativity could compete with 2K or take the throne right now. And if a gaming company would be smart enough to come to the people that actually play and promote their game, like myself and other 2K creators, they could be less cringy, more creative, and more realistic for the sake of their consumers. I do appreciate that there's less trauma in your character's life, like I asked for in a previous video where I gave a list of things to improve that some 2K intern has definitely watched and gotten a promotion off of.
Oh, hey! Fuck you!
But now you don't feel any attachment to your player or their story because there really isn't one. The only time you play outside of the NBA is weeks into the season when you give an interview about your time during college. So now we're supposed to be interested in our character as they battle with another outside lottery pick, Shep Owens, and discover why our character is so in love with this blood-sucking leech of a woman. Let's be honest, does this character remind you more of an NBA great's wife or a pile of bagels? And if you're gonna give us a girlfriend, why don't you give us some options there? The players build characters every time we start a career. Just worry about the voice acting and allow me to have a big booty Latina girlfriend if I want to. When it comes to story building, they had better games in the last decade. Going to the combine should be a minimum standard. The high school and college experience needed improvement, but it felt like you really had to earn your way into the NBA, and it was fun. The street ball story, that was a little retarded if I'm being honest. But why not expand on the come up of your player rather than minimizing it on your new game? Give us options on how we start a career and how to proceed. Let us start in Europe, taking the Luka route. If we're in America, let us play AAU or high school and become a ranked player that gets recruited to colleges, the G League, or to play overseas before declaring for the draft. Just give us something, just not street ball and not this. The biggest jumps NBA 2K has ever made is adding my career, then adding the park, the neighborhood, and the city. The city was released in 2020, and it's been the same thing every year with some added details here and there. The game needs an actual city, a metropolitan city if they want to put a name on it. If the city were bigger, you could actually have a reason to add cars into the game that you could drive from your house to the arena or to the parks to play with your friends, and it would be awesome if we could get our squad together in a car. 2K23 did add some stationary cars to the game, so I know they have it in them regardless of their connection to GTA, and I understand the game has been rated E, so I would be perfectly fine with not having the option to run over a crowd of opposing fans. And to speak more directly to NBA 2K, imagine all the money you would make if you were selling cars in the game from 10,000 VC to a couple million, and allow us to own multiple and customize them. Let us purchase different houses and apartments that could store more cars, have better features, and be closer or further from the arena. Your shopping district could turn into an actual mall. You could live in your associated neighborhood. You'd no longer need to jam courts into every corner because of all the room you'd have. They could load different city layouts for road games and home games, and this would bring us into other parts of the game where we could custom build an entire arena, if not the whole city, like how we currently are able to do in MLB The Show. I know I've been showing a lot of GTA footage, but I'm not expecting them to make a map the size of San Andreas. Considering how often we have to load in and out of games, I think something the size of GTA 3 or Vice City would be reasonable and blow the community away. We would have so much more fun on this game, and we'd be able to make so much more content that would drive NBA 2K sales to an all-time high. Keep in mind, the goal should not be to increase the travel time between events. They need to add fast travel to everywhere. Why is it that I have to load into 3 different places just to have a simple conversation with my GM that could have been done over the phone? We have phones, so why don't we use them? If we have a meeting that we are alerted about through text, just let us fast travel right to it. Why don't we have actual dialogue choosing conversations through phone calls? What's the point of social media being on it if we can't post anything, interact with players, fans, whatever? It's just pointless right now. This game has so much untapped potential, and I don't think 2K realizes what an opportunity they have. This gaming series focused around filling a bar and shooting a ball into a hoop could go down in the history books. 100 years from now, people will remember GTA 5, but will they remember NBA 2K? At this rate, no. They currently have no competition, so they're being lazy and putting minimal effort into their games. It's only a matter of time before some other company comes in and one-ups them out of existence like they did to NBA Live and how NBA Live did to NBA Jam. I believe we're coming into a turning point of video game history. We've almost mastered the art of turning pixels into reality. Coding is so powerful that it feels like you're really controlling a human life. Technology is cheaper and more accessible than ever. All this with the continuing rise in fame of sports in the world, they can create something special, or they can follow the trend of copy and pasting sports games until they're replaced. The next game released for the 23-24 season needs to be special. There's a good chance they're gonna put Kobe all over 2K24. And because I don't trust 2K to do this correctly, I've started a petition on change.org titled EA needs to make NBA Live 24. They're not going to make a masterpiece overnight, but the important thing is that they get back in the basketball video game industry. This would give 2K competition and a reason to make us the best game possible. So if you care about the future quality of these games, sign the petition so EA knows they can make a comeback. Share the link, like this video or the post about this so the algorithm pushes the idea even further. I wish another gaming company would take a shot at this industry, but EA seems to be the only other option we have right now. If we continue to do nothing, they will continue to do nothing. It's time the boys make a change for once.